You're listening to the REITE Club podcast, where the focus is all about helping you grow your real estate investment portfolio and live the life you want to live. Come grow with us and join our community at thereiteclub.com. And now your hosts, Sarah Larby and Alfonso Salemi.
So I strongly encourage your listeners to start writing down your goals. If your goal is to buy one property by a certain date, write it down. Make it a focus. Start creating a plan, get pre-qualified with a great broker, reach out to people in that market and start to understand how to access deals and make things happen. And they do, but you need to start taking action.
And you're right, Jared, as soon as you write it down, then you're making a commitment. You're making a commitment to yourself. And that's like the most important commitment there is. And it's there. You can't ignore it, right? If you just talk about it and think about it, well, it's just kind of out there. As soon as you write it down, it's in your face.
You know, it's funny. I was like a little kid. I think it was September and I was at 7 and my goal was 10 by the end of the year. So I remember in the morning in my head, I was like 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. And I know I sound like a bit of an idiot saying that, but the truth is I was able to just put it there and start making a lot of offers. I had to succeed. I had to hit it by the end of December because it was part of the goal. And so you kind of condition your subconscious to make sure it does happen. And I'm not that level right now where I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the idea is, you have the time and it really has a big impact on performance when you plan and write down your goals. If not, things tend to slip, and you never failed if you never wrote it down, right? It was never a goal to begin with. So how did you couldn't fail? And it's
safe. It's safe, right?
Mechanism.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. It's a wish. It's a dream because you didn't write it down. So are you thinking about going outside to other provinces, like the East Coast, for example? Because I know there's a lot of stuff going on down there.
Yeah, I'm interested. I don't have much of a network out there, unfortunately. I've heard great things about New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, Moncton, Fredericton. I was actually on a call with a guy from Fredericton who's got 2 townhouses the other day. I am interested, but I haven't started diving in there. I understand that we're all investors after cash flow and affordability right now. So with the current situation in COVID, there's a race to land. There's a race to space. We all want it. It's more desirable. There'll be increased opportunities, I believe, with buying large lots of land. So even if the city right now is not going to approve me on, either severing a lot or a tear down to build a multi, they will years from now, because intensification is real, and it's those who own the larger lots of land will win in the long run, I believe.
I think that also brings up the interesting concept of the fact that people, I think now, are just so focused on buying another property, and they're not thinking long-term and bigger picture, because the reality is that real estate will always be there. How we approach it, what methodologies and techniques we use, yes, they come, they go, this is in favor and that's not, and then something else will come along. But it's about thinking, always keeping an eye both on your goals and what you want to accomplish, and how, like, the steps you're putting in place to accomplish it, but also keeping in mind that things, you have to be flexible, and things do change, and that there are many ways to make money in real estate.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm having fun branching out to other markets. A lot of people think I'm crazy that I'm in Montreal, I'm investing in Peterborough, but the truth is, once you establish and build these relationships with your property managers and contractors, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's not that hard. It's not that hard. So I know, for example, let's say we're talking about Halifax. I know how to start there if I wanted to. I know exactly what steps to take at the beginning. I would know how to analyze the cash flow, who to network with, and get a lot of information very quickly. So, on that note, there's no real excuse anymore to not take action, in my mind.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to branch out once you've got the experience and the success and some of the downside, or downfalls that you've had early on, and you've developed, things to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So, for me, it's very similar to you. I started in Brantford, and then I branched out when I had, more confidence, more experience, and I am looking at the East Coast as well. I'm looking at different options, and ultimately, if the deal makes sense, the deal makes sense. And so 100% I agree with that. So Jared, I mean, we can keep talking for, many, many more hours because you've got tons of information, and I really enjoy our conversations. But the next part of the podcast is our lightning round. So Laurel and I will ask you a series of 4 questions in total. Everybody gets the same questions. You're going to give us the first answer that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. So question number 1, Jared, what is the best advice that you have ever received from another investor or at a networking event?
I'm going to repeat the same words I said about a year ago from my main man, Tom Sullivan. Once you have a few properties, I'm not saying sit back and enjoy yourself, but understand that you're doing well, and don't get caught up in acquiring as many properties as fast as possible, and just for your ego. Enjoy the process, enjoy the ride.
All right. What is your favorite resource for real estate investing? And it can be anything: book, training, person, event. What's your favorite resource?
I really like podcasts. I do read a lot, but I enjoy podcasts because, especially these days, I like getting out and walking, and it's just a great type of therapy for me now. So Bigger Pockets, this podcast, Tom and Nick Cardaz's podcast is great. So many out there that are fantastic.
Absolutely. And it's free information, and you can do anything that you want while you're listening to it. So,
and get the
awesome.
subject right. I don't need to learn about, I don't know, land development. Not that I have anything against it, Sarah. I know you're part of that now, but I can't lose my focus right now. So you can pick the topic that interests you.
That's true. All right. Number 3, Jared, what is the one attribute that has made you most successful?
I'm an action taker that once I have enough information, I'm able to execute, and I don't look back. I think who, not how, who's going to help me, and figure it out as I go along.
Good for you. Yeah, action. That really kind of sums it up. So question 4, what do you typically do on a Sunday morning?
I used to run. I have mild asthma, so it's rough in the winters actually, but I'm right by a canal. It's fantastic. But I really do enjoy exercising. I run, I swim. I like taking my Sunday as my day off, where I'll either get a lot of chapters out of the latest book, or do a long run and get a lot of exercise in, a nice long walk for an hour or 2. Sunday is my reset, recharge day. That's for sure.
Awesome. It's always good to have a recharge day. That was our lightning round. Jared, thanks for playing. Where can our REITE Club community reach out and know more about you?
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm fairly active on Instagram. I like posting what I'm doing, and reaching out to other investors is the same. My handle is JaredH55. So that's a great way to get a hold of me. Also, my email is jared@hatleyfunds.com. If you have any questions about the markets I'm in, or any questions at all, I'm always happy to talk.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Any final last words of advice?
Once you have enough information and everything, and 75% of it checks out, just buy the place. Figure it out after.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jared, for being on the show. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to the REITE Club podcast and joining our community of real estate investors online at thereiteclub.com, where the focus is about helping you grow. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks from your hosts, Sarah Larby and Alfonso Salemi.